Millions of Americans are working from home, which means you can save a lot of money by not buying any deodorant. Ugh. But more importantly than that, this work from home culture is completely changing the real estate market right in front of our eyes. What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh from theminorityMindset.com and welcome to The Minority Mindset. Offices around the United States are empty because everybody is working from home to fight this pandemic. What we thought was a temporary work from home trend is now turning into a permanent work from home culture. Right now, a fourth of Manhattan's office space is listed for sublease because businesses don't plan on going back into their office for a while, and we have a lot of companies that are not going to renew their office leases because they don't plan to ever go back into their office. As an employee, this might sound like great news because now you can just roll out of bed and do your morning meeting in your underwear. Alright guys, for today's morning meeting, we're gonna stand up tall and do a stretch so I can see your pants. Sorry boss, my camera's not working today. But this work from home culture is not good news for real estate investors who own and operate office space, because that means the demand for office space is gonna tank. If less businesses need a physical office, then you're gonna have less demand for office space, which means if you are a real estate investor and you own and operate office space, then you might need to cut your rents in order to incentivize a tenant to lease your office space. And if you still can't get a tenant, or if you're not making enough money to make all of your payments and your loan payments, now we have problems. That's why a lot of people are speculating that we're going to see a shift in the real estate market and we could see an uptake in office foreclosures. But not every business is the same. Like our Minority Mindset team is working from home right now, but we want to go back to the office and start working in the office because that office culture and environment helps us brainstorm, it helps us be creative, and it helps us train new employees. We've been growing quickly and it's getting to the point where we're going to need more office space soon, so I actually started looking for new offices just a couple weeks ago. From what I saw, office prices haven't changed at all. This is for leases and buying because everybody's expecting that businesses and offices are going to go back to normal as soon as this pandemic goes away, at least where I am. But it's almost like a game of chicken of who's going to give in first. Landlords are saying we don't want to lower our rents because we think that this office life is going to go back to normal once this pandemic goes away, so we don't want to cut our rents. Well, business owners are saying, this work from home thing is working just fine, so we're in no rush to get a new office. So I asked my realtor, who specializes in office leases and office sales, on what he thinks, and he told me that if we don't need an office right now, that we should wait, because if people do not renew their new office leases, then we could see office prices go down. So I'm actually in a very lucky position because our building has an office floor right above us, and that floor that's right above us has a tenant that's about to leave in just a few months, and my landlord has agreed to let us take over that office space month to month with no commitment. So we might just do that until I can get a better idea of what's happening in this commercial real estate market. Personally, I think the real estate and office market is going to shift because this work from home kind of trend is going to change things. I don't think every business is going to be work from home permanently, but I do think that a lot of companies are going to offer remote positions or remote opportunities for their jobs. Now, for the office space, I think that a lot of businesses are now going to have to be innovative with their office space, because if they do have an office space, they're going to have to incentivize you to want to come to the office instead of just wanting to work from home. So I do think that a lot of companies are going to go back into the office. Not everybody, but a lot of people will. And I do think that people are now going to start picking jobs based off of their ability to work remotely or not. Work from home doesn't work for all jobs. Like there are jobs where you have to physically go into work to do something, but even for creative and startup companies like ours, it helps to be in that office culture because it's easier to be creative and brainstorm and help train new people. And some people hate the work from home life. They like the ability to go into the office while other people don't. Some people like being at home and they like being able to raise their kids at home, or they want the ability to work for a company in California and then be able to live in Bali on the beach and pay pennies on the dollar to live there. So I do think that we're going to see a shift in the office and work culture over the next decade. If you are interested in landing your own work from home or remote job where you can work on your own schedule from your bed, then you need to know, one, what kind of jobs are going to let you work from home, and two, you need to make sure you master the skills that you have. That way you can make the most money. There's a couple ways that you can find this kind of remote opportunity. You can look for a fully remote job on job boards, or you can become a freelancer where you're working as an independent contractor for other businesses. If you can do a job on your computer, like you're into web development or designing or coding or writing or financial bookkeeping, and you can do this job on your laptop, then you can find a work from home job if you are good at what you do. This might sound kind of simplified, but the better you are at what you do, the more money you'll be able to make, and the easier it'll be for you to either land a work from home job or a work from home freelance position. That's why you want to make sure you always keep learning and refining your skills. And if you are looking for an easy way to learn and expand your mind and your creativity, you can use an online learning platform like our sponsor Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creative people who love learning. They have classes on almost anything you can imagine, from design to coding to branding to marketing to writing, from experts who actually do what they teach. Like if you want to learn to be a better writer, they have classes for that. And if you want to learn how to build websites, they have classes for that too. And if you want to learn how to draw, they have classes for that as well. All their classes are video based, and most classes last less than 60 minutes, so you can learn on your own pace from your phone or your laptop. Plus, it's affordable. If you get their annual subscription, Skillshare will cost you less than $10 a month, and there's no limit to how many classes that you can watch. And the best part of all is that Skillshare is giving you 2 free months of their premium membership. That way you can expand your mind and your creativity when you use our link in the description below. But this offer is only available for the first 1,000 people that click on our link in the description below. Going back to how this work from home shift is going to affect the real estate market, the commercial real estate market is made up of retail, office, multifamily, and hotel properties. The multifamily sector is in a very weird place because we have these moratoriums that do not let landlords evict their tenants, and at the same time we have a lot of tenants who don't have money to pay their rent. So it's going to be an interesting kind of shift that we see in the multifamily market. I'm not going to go too deep into that in this video, so if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you do that. The retail sector is getting hammered because you have thousands of restaurants and retail stores going out of business. So these are thousands of tenants that are no longer paying rent to their landlords. And that's why analysts are predicting that 1 out of 4 malls in America will be completely shut down over the next 5 years. The hotel sector is on choppy waters. It really depends on where your hotel is, because if you are a touristy hotel, well, nobody's traveling, so people aren't staying there. But some of my friends who do invest in hotels are saying that people have been seeing more kind of mini vacations where people just want to get away from their homes, so they go into hotels to stay there for a weekend. And this was especially kind of bumping up once the stimulus checks were passed. And now we have the office sector potentially entering crisis mode. This pandemic has given businesses the opportunity to look at themselves in the mirror and ask themselves, do you really need to be shelling out thousands of dollars a month for an office? Is it giving you a good enough return? And if so, how big of an office do you really need? The reality now is that if companies really want to attract the best employees who want to come and work in the office, they're going to have to make that office culture more fun and attractive so people actually want to come and work in the office. That could be by giving your employees free food or games, or giving them a relaxing place to work so employees actually want to go into the office. There's also a very good chance that we're going to see some businesses completely go remote. So these are businesses that are not going to renew their office leases, and they're going to let all their employees work from home permanently. And we'll also probably see some businesses that give a percentage of their employees that work from home option. This is not good news for the commercial real estate market. If businesses are not renewing their office leases, or if they start downsizing, that means we're going to see more vacant office space, which means we could see office prices come down. While this is not good news for real estate investors that own and operate their own office space, this might be good news for companies who are looking for an office sometime in the future, because you might be able to get an office at a discounted price. And even if you're not a business owner that's looking to buy or lease their own office, that doesn't mean that you can't find opportunity in this office shift. The most obvious opportunity is if we see an uptick in office foreclosures, you could come in as a real estate investor and buy these properties at a discounted price. But a more almost underground opportunity will be in the co-working office space market with companies like WeWork. WeWork is a co-working office. So let's say you are a solo entrepreneur, or you work from home, or you have a small team of people. Now, instead of you going out and renting your own office space, you can go and get a membership at WeWork, kind of like a gym, and now you have access to the WeWork office facility, and you can work anywhere in their awesome office. I'm not trying to promote WeWork, okay? I've actually never been inside of a WeWork office, but I've seen them from the outside, and I've seen pictures, and from what it looks like, they look like really cool modern offices where you get these offices in awesome cities with cool views. The advantage of this is you are not committed to a long-term lease, and you can get as much or as little space as you need, and you have somebody else that's taking care of all the office maintenance. The reason this is so interesting is because you might remember the WeWork debacle that happened in 2019 when they were about to go public. If you don't know what I'm talking about, WeWork was about to file their IPO, meaning they were about to trade on the stock market, and they had this crazy high valuation. But before you go on the stock market, you have to release all your financial data, and financials looked at this and they saw that the company wasn't making that much money, and they saw that the company was literally losing billions of dollars, and they were on the verge of running out of money. So investors were like, we're not going to invest in this. And so the valuation of the company tanked, and they decided not to put their company on the stock market. And that's when it was discovered that the company's CEO was taking their company plane to exotic islands with their friends, smoking a lot of weed on the plane and spending all this money on things that didn't really make any sense. And so he was fired and a lot of things happened. Well, kind of ironically, this pandemic could be a godsend for co-working offices like WeWork, because they were struggling to find tenants who wanted a co-working office. So this is something you want to pay attention to, because this could create investment opportunities in the future depending on how the office culture kind of shifts and develops. Now, before I let you go, I do want to hear your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen with the future of offices? Do you think that the office life is going to go back to normal as soon as this pandemic goes away? Or are we going to see kind of like an office revolution? Let me know what your thoughts are and why in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, share it with one friend, that way we can help spread the word. If you were wondering how you can go out and find a good work from home job, I already made a video going over this, and you can watch this video on YouTube by clicking this button right over here. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.